Welcome back! From the sound of things, it seems like we're in some sort of wind tunnel. But more importantly, we've got the Great Golden Dome and Temple Island right in front of us, and a bridge we can cross to get there. Now, you might recall earlier when we were standing right around here or so, that I took a look at this bridge. In fact, you can see the slanted portion right here. And back then I noted that it connected to what was at that point an unknown island. Let's compare views. Yep, that's Crater Island alright, and that was the island that we saw earlier. I also mentioned on the ride to Crater Island that we could see a bridge connecting it to Temple Island, and it is indeed the same one. In fact, you can even see the log cart track right here leading into that tunnel. There is one other thing I want to check while we're here. Yeah, we can totally see the spot where we switched on the power. Let's see what that connects to. Alright, we can now officially re-enter the Great Golden Dome. Now you might also recall way back when we were in here earlier, I mentioned that the bridge led into an entrance that was directly above where we went outside to go around the dome. And from this vantage point, you can see the catwalk curving around here and going downwards, suggesting that this is indeed that entrance. So that means that directly below us is the exit that went outside, and directly across from us on the same level is the entrance from the gate room. Which would make this exit over here the one on the east side. But we'll check that out in a minute. Earlier on I mentioned that there was a wheel directly across from this spot over here, but we didn't really know what it did. Let's see what it does do. Excellent! We've now completed a circuit of all 3 islands that we visited so far. However, I really have no use to go over there right now. The only new thing that we can check out right now is this area. Though that doesn't exactly look very promising. I mean, I suppose I could try to leap over that, but my jumping skills aren't exactly up to par. Not to mention that these games don't allow you to do that. But wait a second, this spot looks rather familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, directly below us is that platform we were stepping on earlier, remember this one? We looked at the wall and saw this spot that seemed like it should hold a button, but the button wasn't there. And then we looked upward toward where we're standing right now, and we saw these slider tracks over here, suggesting that something can move on them. Aha! And just like that, the platform slides into place. That's pretty awesome and everything, but one thing I've got to wonder is how these rails appeared. I mean, when this thing was downstairs, the rails weren't there, because if they were, they'd be blocking our path in toward that tunnel over there. Maybe they just sprung out from the ground before this thing lifted up? I mean, I suppose they could have. I mean, we did hear a noise before the thing started sliding. And we get a nice view of that dome for this island. Now what's this here? This lever certainly looks like something familiar. Aha! We just opened up that door on side number 4 of the gate room. You might remember earlier when we came here, there was a door that was blocking our progress, and the only thing in this side was the lever that opened up the grate for door number 3. Well, that's pretty nice and everything, but what did that just accomplish? I mean, we haven't really exactly done anything except open up some new pathways to existing areas. But if you think about it, there are a couple of things that we've been able to accomplish with this. The first thing is that we've raised this platform up here, so we might want to check what's down below it. And the other thing is, now that we can enter the gate room from a different side, from inside the dome, we can now raise this bridge over here and see if there's something on the second level. So you know what? I'm going to do that right now. But before we check out what's up there, I do want to take care of our business on this side. Ah, it feels great to be back in familiar territory. Well, it seems like something has changed. The platform here is now a red one. And we've got ourselves a button on the wall. Well, at least that answered the question of what that did. But I was kind of hoping to go up and not down, because the dome was above our heads. Though there is a staircase here, so that's promising. Alright, that wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. And thankfully the scope for this one is right in front of us here instead of hidden. Let's see what that golden symbol is. Okay, it appears to be a circle with a dot in the middle. So let's try to get that. Missed, we can always try again. There we go. Well, at least this one's not in the dark like the other one was. And it's got what appears to be the same thing inside it. It looks like a book, alright. And this one we can see quite a bit more clearly than the one on Crater Island. But we still don't know what this mysterious code is, so this is pretty much useless to us. Now, all along, we've been making quite a few changes to this place. I mean, we've been switching levers and opening doors and whatnot. But we haven't really quite done something as blatant as this. You know, Gen could still be wandering around here, and I don't really know if I want him to see this or not. So, you know what? I'm just going to close the dome back. Yeah. I really don't want him to know that we're here. Especially since these things aren't really supposed to be accessed by the villagers and whatnot. Well, that's all we can do on this side of things. But there is something else, though. Notice that we can press the button when we're not standing on the platform. Maybe if we raise it up again, there might be something under here. It certainly seems like the distance between this level and the level above is considerably shorter than the distance between the level above and the level way above. Alas, there's nothing here except just a grate. Looks like a drainage thing or something. I guess that's more realistic, but hey, a true adventurer always leaves no stone unturned. Now, if this were a REM game, there would almost certainly be something under there. Well, time to go back to door 4 of the gate room and rotate it back, such that we can enter from door number 3. At least we can access everything now. Seems like all the mysteries of Temple Island have pretty much been solved. Well, all except for one. That telescope. Now, right now, the doors that are open are doors 1 and 3. So, with this rotation, they'll be at 2 and 4 again, which means that we can get to door number 2 from here. Now, from there, we can rotate the room such that door number 5 is open, and we can use that to go back to door number 1 and rotate it such that it gets to door number 3. Either way, it will take 5 button presses, so you can either do like a 1 and then, let me see, 2, 4, and then 3, I think a 1 and then a 2 and a 2 combination, or we could do a 3 and a 2. I could be wrong about that though. Alright, and we can now go back to door number 1. So from here, it's just a couple more rotations, and we are good to go to the Great Golden Dome once more. Now, one thing I didn't mention earlier when we came back to the Great Golden Dome was that if you hadn't provided power to that drawbridge, you'd have to go all the way back to Crater Island, take the log cart all the way back to Jungle Island, walk to the tram and go all the way back to Temple Island, then throw the switch, and then go all the way back. So it's a very good thing that we flipped that switch. Otherwise, we would have had a long, long walk ahead of us. Well, let's see what awaits us here on the top level. I like the lighting. What is this thing? Well, it certainly looks pretty intriguing. It's a grid full of squares, each with their own 5x5 grid. And the individual squares that are bigger make up their own 5x5 grid. That means there are 625 of these little pegs here. We also got these 6 marbles here. Though, they don't really seem to do anything when we put them on. Well, let's see if this does something. I noticed something on the way in here. Yeah, what does this do? Well, it's certainly big, and it sure seems important. In fact, it seems to be directly above that spider structure inside. But unfortunately, that did not do any good. It looks like we're just going to find out where these marbles go, and what the colors mean. But we don't really have any of that information yet, so we're just going to have to keep on figuring it out. Well, 3 more rotations, this being one of them, and we should be back to go back to the dome using our newly opened passageway from earlier. And from there, it's back to Crater Island. We gotta investigate that modern-looking building and see if we can get inside, because right now there's really not much in the way of options. We've pretty much explored everything we can see here on Temple Island. I gotta wonder, why in the world did Gen make this room such that you can only access 2 doors at a time? I mean, why couldn't all 5 doors be open? It just doesn't make much sense. Maybe there was like one configuration that he considered the default configuration, and like doors 5 and 2, for instance, were not quite as interesting. So he just left like either doors 1 and 3 open or doors 1 and 4 open. Well, say goodbye to Temple Island for now. Now this is rather curious. From here we can see the building, and out from one of its doors appears to emerge a passageway. some sort of pathway that goes down here to what appears to be another tram station. So that definitely warrants some investigation. Now, when we walked here earlier, this thing was locked. And it still is. Wait a second, what's this thing? Do you hear that hum? Is that just me? Wait a second. Aha, what does this do? It made the noise stop. Well, let's keep on following this thing. Well, it goes right up into the mountain there. Let's take a look at this area one more time. Actually, for starters, let's raise this thing back up again and see if anything changed. Well, something's different here. It appears that it closed. Aha! That sounds. And that confirms that this is indeed from a frog. Very colorful frog, too. Wait a second. This thing is now off. Earlier, this place was a little noisier and it was on. So it appears that that lever we pulled switched this fan off. I wonder if we can use this to our advantage. Well, it certainly seems to lead somewhere we haven't been before. Let's drop in and see. Well, we're at somebody's desk. And yes, it does look like we're in the building we meant to go to all along. Well, we'll start examining this place in the next video.